Okay, first of all, big thanks to all ETHGlobal crew. I appreciate them for a fantastic job to putting this all together. And my name is Vadim. I'm from New and I'm engineer, so I will have some live coding session in the end. But today I came to present the BOS, which is blockchain operation system. I will show how it works, why will you use it, and actually how it works. So from the beginning, we're all here because we believe in the same principles. We want users to have their own data, actually their own identity, and obviously we want them to have their own decisions. But right now we are quite far from this point because most of our, for example, laptops or software, where applications are running on a large company servers, and actually data belongs to those corporations. And we are using bank accounts every day, and similar as money is sitting in the bank and banks are doing whatever they want with our money, similar large corporations are using our data themselves. Actually, so, the problem that they have these siloed identities. For example, the reputation you built in one application doesn't translate to reputation in another application. In this case, for example, Uber reputation and Lyft application has no link. Corporation can remove features, they can increase some fees, or maybe block your account, block your data, remove your social graph. Every day we have some news about new censorship. Corporations like Twitter, Reddit, they increase some download rate limits, remove API functionality. And speaking about data leaks, because all the data is sitting in one place, and human are making mistakes, there are a lot of leaks and some potential problem of that data leaks. So here actually to fix this problem, most of those problems, we are doing crypto stuff, we're building some amazing functionality. And I have an example of bingo game. So if you have like 3 terms from this bingo game in your pitch doc, then probably you will have some success in token sale, or maybe you will attract some liquidity. Actually, you'll have some profit, but the global, our final target is mass adoption, and there is no any clear plan how to bring actually big amount of people to our Web3 applications. So usual plan is like we are just building cool stuff, then ... and then figures out that at one point we have millions or billions of users. And Web3 until now has a lot of problems. We have similar problems with Web2. With Web2 is disjointed experience. Our apps and networks has different identities, and as far as we introduce new technology, new layer ones, new side chains, neural apps, it became more complex. Nobody knows how much accounts they have, how much wallets they have. For sure, there is no any direct link between different chains. Applications are not really decentralized because most of them are using centralized services. Imagine you have something like an asset management system, and you connected a lot of wallets there, and obviously everybody who controls this service, they know they can create this link. What account do you own? And you don't have any access to this data actually. And the biggest problem, from my understanding, is the lack of common services which we used to have in Web 2. For example, search. Like there is no any simple way to have to search on-chain applications right now using on-chain services, and for example notifications. Like if you want to find what events happens with your assets, with your identity, you don't have this option. But imagine, say, Twitter without search and notification. There is nothing to do there. But this is how Web3 works right now. And Near is representing now blockchain operation system, which is common layer for browsing and discovering this new open web experience, and actually it's compatible with any blockchain. So Near for a long time is doing not only like blockchain itself development. It creates a lot of features to enable simple onboarding. Now we have this fast OS. We have login with biometrics. Near prepared a lot of developer tools to create really versatile applications and make it simple. And now we introduce this new idea of discovery layer, which will give access to make search and find new applications, and attract user by giving them some chat and social functionality, notifications, and like if you will see the scheme, like brings the best parts from Web2 and Web3, combines them together, and build this as a fully decentralized, in a fully decentralized way. So this is how it works actually. So BOS it has a base layer of blockchain, which is security layer, data layer, and this is where Near blockchain or Ethereum or any other blockchain sits. On top of it, we have a data platform. Our engineers created a lot of we brought together different data sources. Think about it like a combination of Infura, different indexer databases, and they are aggregated in a way which be easily accessible by any application uploaded on chain. And on top of it, new concept, which is discovery layer. This is, instead of siloed websites, it has fully composable components written in a very simple language, and they are given the full Web3 experience right now. Why Near is doing it? Because it has very fast finality. Imagine some social network where you have to wait like 12 seconds until your like will arrive to the destination. Is not really realistic. Near has sharding, so it can really scale to billion users. And we really have amazing functionality about account model with this functional access keys, with meta transaction, with guest accounts. I will show it to you, and probably you will be impressed. This is the concept how it works overall. So there are a lot of gateways where you can access this BOS data. You can do it through the browser. For example, near.org, the official website of Near blockchain now is this BOS gateway. So every piece of data which you will find there, every document, like developer tutorial or maybe help or something, all of it sources from the chain. There are partnerships with different wallets, different browsers. For example, in a browser, you can put like comma / and some component address that will load it for you. And it is actually multi-chain. As you can see here, you can connect any account. Like there is a data abstraction layer. User will even don't recognize which blockchain is he using, but if he has any wallet injected into his gateway, he will be able to read his data and obviously send transaction to the chain. BOS handles all this infrastructure management, handles identity, routing. It integrated popular libraries to give the developer simple developer experience. I have a screenshot of near.org right now. So it has, as you see, different social mechanics. I made these screenshots several days ago. And if you will see, like on the right panel, I have a bit different design just because I composed myself. I like a no-code experience. I just put some widgets which I prefer to have there. We have quite a lot of users right now, quite a lot of components. So this is near-based experience, but I will show now Ethereum-based development on BOS. So great part about it. It has a lot of GitHub-like functionality because you can see the source code of every component which you see and which you use. You can see the name of user who uploaded it, when he uploaded it, and even you can see, for example, the code diff, like what he changed, and you can roll back and, for example, use the previous version of frontend if you don't like a new version of frontend. And for sure, you can fork any component if you don't like it. You can introduce your own functionality and use in your own way, or maybe submit this functionality to the initial component author. So speaking about Ethereum, we have different components. Like this is a component to stake Ethers on using Lido. You can find it. You can actually see the code, how it works. There is a injected Ethers.js library, so you can read and write data in a way you are familiar with. There is also swap components. You can see how Uniswap works, like Pancake, like QuickSwap, like a lot of networks are connected there. There is an Aave component, there is a balancer. Actually, it's quite straightforward. This is like a final scheme how it works. So user navigates through a different gateway to his user experience. For example, he can go to the internet or using his wallet. He selects which dapp he wants to use. Then there is a request to near blockchain, and near blockchain returns some compressed JSX code. It rendered in the virtual machine inside the browser into the final user interface. So user can interact with it, and as soon as he wants to send any transaction, he's using his from his browser, using his injected wallet, he can just create transaction and send to the blockchain he's working with. Okay, and because for sure some hackers will want to use actually, and we have like price pool $10,000 to for hackers who will build some applications during the hackathon. And I want just to give you some initial experience how it can work. So let me just open near.org. So this is a social network, and usually it should be faster. For example, I can go to, maybe I can, for the beginning, I can just like something, so it will be on-chain transaction. Like it's if I will refresh, you will see my likes there. And if I go to the wallet, you will see that it was a real transaction there. Okay, maybe it's a better example. Let me go to the profile. So this page, what you see is a component is written on a JavaScript, and I can go to discover and develop and view the code of this component. So profile page. Let me open another screen. So as you see, there is several tabs like components I built, NFT I own, for example, my followers. I can go back and I can go to the source code of this component, and for example, I can go to there is a dependencies what we are using. If I go to followers list, I will see that there is a set of widgets which are running in a loop. And for example, if I will copy this one and I will create a new component right now, create a new component, and okay, so now it's empty one, and it will just return a hello world. I can remove this and put, for example, as account ID. I will replace it. I will put a value, for example, root.near. And if I will preview, you will see just an account of one guy who has actually a name root.near. Okay, and maybe I can put another widget. I prepared just an example here. For example, we have a public tags like another scan. You can put any tag for any address, and we can put also, for example, see the text of root.near. So now you'll see his profile as I showed before and his public tags. And just to don't put this hard-coded, let me put it, for example, I can create in the top const account ID, and I will read it from props. Is a React-based way how you can get some values inside your components. So like account ID. Or by default, I can put maybe some other component. So now you probably will see that like, yeah, another guy, but let me now save this code, publish it to the blockchain. Okay, I can rename it data. Okay, I'll put like that. So this will be the name of my component. So my component, which shows user profile and his public text. Now I send blockchain transaction, and if I create another application, and I will return now widget I will put my, so how it works. First, it is your near account, then world widget, and then the name of the application. Yeah. So now it shows like you see, I created the application, and like as it is, it can be used in another application, and you can just create this way of complexity as you like. So somebody can just use it there and put his own data. Okay, speaking about Ethereum, I created an example. I don't have actually too much time. I can just go through. For example, I made an example how you can use, for example, wrapped Ethereum contract and see the balance of current user, and wrap and unwrap Ethereum, and use different chains to do this operation. So at the beginning you need ABI. You can use, actually you can host it somewhere, or you can use it, for example, I just used the block scout. You can, using the API methods, you can send any account address and receive ABI there. So then you fetch this ABI. Using Ethers.js, you can create an interface using this ABI and encode transaction to get balance of receiver. So here I put receiver. You see it again reads from the browser reads it from the Ethers.js library, which is using MetaMask or Wallet Connect or wherever. This is my balance of this user in Ethers, in wrapped Ethereum, sorry. So, and I put a button here, which has event on click, and it loads function unwrap. With this unwrap button, you can read the balance which you want to unwrap. And in a similar way, you create a contract using Ethers.js. You provide token ID, which is contract of wrapped Ethereum, and ABI, which we read above. Using you have signer from the MetaMask, and then using this wrapped Ethereum contract, you can run any method which exists in ABI. In our case, it's withdraw, and you just put amount of what you want to withdraw. So if you click this button unwrap, it shows you the MetaMask, and it allows you to make transaction. So now let's say we want to create the same application, but for Polygon zk sync. So this is the name of token wrapped Ethereum on Polygon ZK sync. I will copy this address. I will paste it here. Now it doesn't work because like this address does not exist on the Ethereum blockchain. But if I switch to Polygon ZK network, and if I switch to another account where I have some wrapped Ethereum, let me refresh the screen. It was this wrong account. I think I have here. Yeah, so you see, it loads my balance from ZK, from the Polygon ZK EVM, and again I can click this unwrap button, and it works now in ZK EVM, like the same code, the same functionality. But as you can see, just much smaller the transaction fee. So, and this is the power of this kind of development. You can create like real blockchain agnostic applications. I hard coded here the address, but you can easily add similar code. For example, you just check chain ID, and you can create unwrap functionality on every network you want. And if you will, for example, create any other application where you need such a functionality, you can just use different code from another developer there. So let me now go back to Ethereum mainnet. And I want to show this. So this is a LiDAR component. You can again you can see the code and you can fork it. And you have a swap component. So sorry, this CoinGecko API does work. So okay, sometimes it happens. So the code is there. You can contact near booth with your questions and use this way to handle a blockchain layer, security layer, and create these like unstoppable applications. I can give some example of how this can be used. For example, imagine if application like a Tornado Cash deployed on a BOS, and then at some point some regulator is coming and trying to close it using the court. What can he do? He cannot remove smart contract from the blockchain because it's decentralized. He cannot write to the hosting provider because there is no any hosting, because there is no any place you can send an email and ask to block this application. There is no domain name to block. Okay, there is a way to contact gateway operator and ask them to blacklist some access to some URL, but there are a lot of other gateways remains, and user can easily launch his own local gateway. So, and in the worst case, like a last hope, regulator can ask developer of this application to override his code with empty code. But in this case, users can just roll back to the block height because, as you know, the blockchain keeps the whole history for the whole time, and just you can watch, you can actually see the UI even if it was completely deleted from the current state of chain. Okay, so if you have any questions, yeah, I will be happy to answer. Maybe as a boost, yeah, if I don't have time.
Like, so once you build all that, how do you actually show it as a domain to end user? Like what, like the LiDAR thing you just showed? Like what do you type into your browser so an actual user can?
Yeah. So how addresses are? What is the routings here? If I go just to any application, so this actually is can be configured by any gateway owner. This is the way how you can configure a gateway. So first, it has the name of the user who deployed this application, and then the name of the of the front end. It rolls like that. And if you want, I can just copy it and open on a different gateway. It will have the same application, yeah. And if you don't want, if I'm not wrong, I can put something like embed. And you see, like, without interface, you can integrate this to, for example, to iframe or I don't know, whatever. And just one thing to notice, I also participate in a lot of hackathons, and usually hackers are deploying their front-end server on Vercel or something, and just in a very small period of time, those blockchain, those front-ends just disappear because like they became unavailable. And if hackers will host this on a similar way on a blockchain, it's very cheap, but it will stay forever.
Thank you, Vadim. That's all we have time for. Appreciate that.